What's going on, world? This is your girl, Marky Lemons-Ryhal, and I think some of you know that I love me some LinkedIn, baby, because LinkedIn actually saved me when the real estate market crashed back in 2008. So I need you to understand LinkedIn is not new, especially in the world of real estate. So I had to go and find me someone who could come and break it down, right? And today I have Donna Serdula. Did I pronounce that correctly? I did. I
You did.
did. I did. I
You
pronounced it
totally
correctly. Yes,
did.
I have Donna Serdula. Honey, let me just say it again. Donna Serdula here with us, who is the author of LinkedIn Profile Optimization for Dummies. Now, I think you might know about the For Dummies books that are out in the market. And she and I had a nice little side conversation about self-publishing. Baby, Wiley published her book. So she's a bona fide author who has someone who believed in her enough to say, hey, we want you to publish this series of the number one business to business social network. Donna, what's going on today?
I'm happy to be here talking to you.
Did I overwhelm you already? I know I can be a handful, and I'm excited because I've neglected, I would think, my LinkedIn profile here recently, right? In the midst of the pandemic. So now that we are pivoting to a hybrid environment, people are going back into the office. I would love for you to tell us, what do we need to do to optimize our LinkedIn profile, essentially post mid missed pandemic?
Yeah. And I think it's something that people should be looking at. And it's not even post-pandemic, right? This is something that you need to be doing on with a frequent basis. Look, I would love to tell you like once a month. I know people are busy, so I'm not going to say once a month, but every couple months, visit that LinkedIn profile and check it out. Look at it with open eyes, with eyes of, your target audience, and look at it and think to yourself, what is this person thinking about me? Am I really putting forth the right image, an image that's impressive, an image that gets them feeling really confident and impressed with who I am and what I deliver? So, that's something I think a lot of people don't do. They don't look at it and think to themselves, is this impressive to others? Is this getting people interested and engaged with me?
Impressive to others.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? First of all, the way you make it sound is it's elegant, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm loving every single thing that she is saying about the consumer and the fact that we need to do this with the consumer in mind and how to impress them. Okay, yes, you're speaking my language.
So everyone who's listening, really get out your phone, and open up the LinkedIn app. Do you not have the LinkedIn app? Well, you gotta get it, okay? Because so many people, I found that LinkedIn really burst into the scene, really became something important once their mobile app became easy to use, fun to use, because so many people, they didn't want to go on LinkedIn when they got home to get onto their desktop to network. Who wants to do that? And a lot of companies would turn off that LinkedIn app off their intranet. They're like, I don't want you looking for a job, because a lot of companies thought that LinkedIn was a job search app. They didn't realize that it's not a job search app. This is a business app. This is let's make business happen. And so, for a very long time, people couldn't access it at work, didn't want to access it at home. And so it just wasn't what it has become. And it became what it has because of the phone, because of the mobile app. Make sure you have it on your phone. That's like tip number one. If you don't have it on your phone, install it right now. Install it and then check out your profile. A lot of times we look at our profile on our desktop, look at it on the mobile phone, see what it looks like there. And when you look at it, start from the very top. And how do you get there? It's very easy, guys. Once you click on the mobile app, just on the far left-hand side and the very top, there's like a little tiny picture. Click that picture, click view profile. Easy peasy. But once you do that, start looking at it and say to yourself, okay, let's look at this through fresh eyes. Do you have a background image uploaded? Marky, you do. Free masterclass. Are you ready to turn your real estate dreams into a 6-figure real estate business? Love it. Love it. Get a beautiful background image up there. Use your tagline. Think of something that really illustrates your brand and what you do. Find that image and upload it. If it looks kind of greenish gray, that means it's the default. You didn't upload anything. So that's one of the areas I would absolutely, put a great looking background image. Then, look at your picture. Make it yourself. Make it your smiling face. I mean, all of you realtors out there have professionally taken headshots, right? Is there a realtor out there that doesn't?
Well, I would say there are realtors who they all have it. The question is, how old is it? And is it truth in marketing? So if you're not recognizable when you show up to meet with people, you need new headshots.
Yes, I agree. And you know what? It's hard, isn't it? It's hard. No one ever wants to go and get their picture taken. It's a difficult thing, but absolutely, get that headshot, put it up there. That's important. And when I visited your profile, Marky, I was super impressed because you had the cover video, and what an awesome one. Oh my gosh, guys, I visited her profile and her profile picture comes to life. Next thing I know, she is twirling around in front of an audience of thousands. It was so impressive. That's what you want. That's what you want to aim for. Something that's out of the box, something different, something that gets a person to go, whoa, this is someone that I need to pay attention to. This is important. This is impressive. That's what we want. Shall I keep going?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm being consulted. So everybody, my profile, I am Marky Lemons. That's my username across all of the different social platforms. So you can come and check me and Donna's profile out to get an idea. But I have no problems with being leveraged because everyone here can improve. And so we could just use me as an example. What I'm hearing you say is that we need to go and get us some photos taken. Mm-hmm. You want to have a nice header photo. If you don't already have a Canva account, go to Canva. I've also had a couple of people over on Fiverr.com to create some for me in the past that all look great. And then if you have any video, including a GIF, I would say load that as your photo, something that is going to allow your profile to pop. But when people look at it, they understand that you're different than everyone else who does what it is you say that you do in your marketplace. I think we off to a great start. So now we have this little bio area, right? Mm-hmm. And I always think of a bio like if you were in Times Square and you have all these different billboards, right? That this bio is going to tell people what it is that you do in a very quick snippet, right? Yeah. But a lot of people don't complete them. What is the value of a bio and why should we leverage those characters?
Yeah. So there are two areas that you could possibly be referring to. There's the headline and then there's the about section. So we're going to talk about the headline first. The headline is 220 characters. And this should be your tagline. This should be your very quick, short elevator pitch. This should be your area where you tell the world who you are, what you do, and why it matters. If you can infuse your keywords into this area, you are going to perform better in search because this area is weighted very heavily. So the more keywords you put in here, the better you're going to do if a person is let's say a person says, I have a really strong LinkedIn network. All the people that I know are here. I want to find a realtor who is somehow connected to me, who has worked with other people that I know. That way I know I'm getting a good person. If they go in and they type in realtor into the LinkedIn search, what they're going to find are people who are first degree connections, second degree connections, or third degree connections. And if it's a second degree connection, you could then see who's the mutual connection, who links you. So I would say to you, Marky, you could actually add more to your headline, because yours says global keynote speaker, global best-selling author, podcaster, and it says surviving, is it lipedema?
Lipedema.
Mm-hmm. I don't see realtor there. I don't see real estate. Those, if you want to be found for those terms, inject them in there.
As you talk, I go to LinkedIn profile to make updates.
And you could even say, maybe helping realtors achieve, world-class results, or, maybe you want to, pivot it a little bit for yourself. But for those of you out there, you want to think, if someone is searching for, for someone like me, what are those words they're putting in there? New home realtor, a Houston market realtor, real estate agent.
Houston market realtor. Let me write that down, because oftentimes Houston market real estate, Houston market realtor. I love that.
Figure out where you're located and bring that in there as well. All right, because let's think of the search result listing, right? The search result listing is your picture. It's your name and it's your headline. And if your headline tells that person exactly where you're located, and you're located in the exact same area where they're located, odds are they're clicking.
So I'm over here working on mine, adding real estate and realtor. Probably might have to take out the surviving lipedema. Lipedema is a fat disorder that I was diagnosed with earlier this year, and wanted to connect with other like-minded people. But I'm trying to think, when did I take the word real estate and realtor out when I know that it was supposed to be there? So thank you for that. And 67% of real estate related searches start with location. So every single real estate professional should include the city that they want to attract people to.
Yes. So the headline is so important. It is your tagline. It is your headline. It should engage people. It should attract people. It should showcase those keywords that a person is potentially using to find someone like you, and it should compel them to read more. Now, guys, I'm going to say this. This is going to seem a little crazy. I'm not one of those people who's really big into that huge benefit statement. And the reason for that, I like more keywords. I like more of this is what I do. I'm not so much into the whole, selling homes of your dreams and the only reason is LinkedIn has gotten very salesy. And I think a lot of times people shut down if they feel like you're selling to them too soon. And I feel like the headline is a little too soon to be selling someone. So when a person is going through their search results and they see a really salesy headline, it turns them off. So we want to keep that headline intriguing. We want it to be chock full of information. We want to give it very clear what you do, how you help, why you do it, that type of thing. But don't make promises, right? Don't get too salesy here, because you're just going to turn people off. If you need help writing that headline, you can visit my website. I've got a free app, and it generates a headline for you. It's the LinkedIn headline generator. We'll talk more about that later, but it's a fabulous tool. I worked with a developer to create this, but you just go in and you go click, 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 click. You choose a couple things, you add a couple nouns. It's almost like the old fashioned Mad Libs game. Next thing you know, you've got a LinkedIn headline that you can copy and paste, and you're going to turn up higher in search. You're going to get more views. You're going to get more opportunities. That's what we want, guys.
And you know what? Let me just share an opportunity. So back in 2008, when the real estate market had shifted to a foreclosure market, a lot of people wanted to receive REO listings. I did not have the financial means at that time in order to attend what is called the Five-Star Institute events. So what I did was I was very strategic. I did not reach out to asset managers because essentially they manage the asset, but they do not assign them. I reached out to the director of business development for companies that held assets in order to build relationship and rapport to get those assets. And we were able to secure multiple master listing agreements for REO properties based on the fact that I built those relationships on LinkedIn exclusively without ever attending a Five-Star Institute event. So I'm talking business to business for real estate professionals. Think about relocation. Think about that director of human resources for new organizations that are coming into your marketplace, because the National Association of Realtors has a program called an EAH, an employee assisted housing program, where realtors can partner with the organization to get the organization to provide down payment assistance for anybody who would relocate to work for that company. So we want to leverage LinkedIn very strategic in our real estate business. Don't think about what everybody else is doing. What is going to be your unique selling proposition in your marketplace?
Absolutely. And LinkedIn it is a database. It's a database of professionals for professionals. Use it as that database. Go in, click on search, and start to see who are the companies nearby, who's out there that would be potentially a great partner. Use it to search, and then as you're searching, you can see how you're connected to these people. It's a first degree. You know them. At some point you've connected to them. If they're a second degree, there is either one or multiple people who connect you, who might be able to offer you that warm introduction.
Donna, do you remember, and it might have been about 5 years ago, that LinkedIn gave us the ability to see how many people were in our third degree of separation? And they took a look at my profile. And at that time, there were 17 million people, 3 degrees of separation based on my LinkedIn profile. And what that tells me from a business to business standpoint, that I can touch anyone in the world to do the business that I desire to do.
They took that away from us. They also had this beautiful way of visualizing the network, which was beautiful too. I love that. But you're absolutely right. If you can build a strong network, and when I say build a strong network, I'm not talking about just connecting willy-nilly to, anyone and their brother, but, be strategic, really think, like, is this a good connection? Because most people don't know this, but there is a limit to first degree connections. You can only have 30,000 first degree connections, which might sound like an awful lot, but I joined back in 2005. I've been on it for over 15 years, and it doesn't take much to get to that number. So what I would want people to do is just be smart about it. I mean, don't be shy and don't not connect, but just connect with some degree of deliberateness.
Okay. Deliberateness. So in being deliberate, I'm thinking about, as a real estate broker, right? We have 320 agents in our company here in Chicago. One, I need strategic partners because I need to make sure that they have the best resources. So let's say I'm looking for a new customer relationship management system. I could come over to LinkedIn, and if they have optimized their profile, I should be able to put in CRM, customer relationship management system, and find them and then interview them about their products and services, and why would that be a benefit to all the agents in my company?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You could even have, you could become the connector because of LinkedIn. right? Everyone wants to be that connector. Everyone wants to talk to that person who is the connector. You can become that connector through LinkedIn because you are actively managing your network and you know who's in it. You can easily access it. Do those searches, find those people, and it's all there at your fingertips. If we keep looking at the profile, there is so much more than just the top portion. As you scroll down, there is the featured section, which you use beautifully, but very few people have it. Very few people use it at all. But this is where you can, and you can see it. If you go, there's beautiful pictures of you. There's the surveys. There's, links to your ebooks. Like there's so much here. Guys, this is where you can pin posts. You can upload presentations. You can upload videos. You can have links back to your website. This is what we've been wanting for years on LinkedIn, and they finally gave it to us, and so few people use it. So the featured section is a big deal. This is how you can get people back to your website, back to your podcast, back to wherever you want. If you keep scrolling down, there's the activity section. If your activity says no activity in 90 days, that means you've got to get active on LinkedIn. And here's the thing with LinkedIn. LinkedIn has really changed. It's not a network. At one time, we were doing 5 to 15 posts a day. Like that's what you needed to really hit that rippling effect, right? It's not the same anymore. LinkedIn values quality over quantity. So if you can post once a week, that post can live for a good week in people's feeds if people are actively engaging with it. So don't think, oh God, I don't have time for LinkedIn. Yes, you do. I'm not asking you to post every day. I'm not even asking you to post 3 times a week. I'm asking you to post once a week, once every 2 weeks. Post something that's interesting, something that happened to you. Post a picture of what's in your inventory. Post about a meeting that you went to. Post about some advice that you've given. Post about something a mentor told you. Talk about an event that's coming up. There's no lack of ideas here. Post something once a week. Add 3 hashtags. If you can, tag a person to really kickstart that engagement, and you're going to be off and running, and you're going to be surprised at how well you do. LinkedIn just recently put out some stats as to how many of their active monthly users are actually creating content. Marky, guess how many? What percentage of their active monthly users do you think are creating content?
2%.
1%.
I was going to say 1.
You said 2 though. I thought you were going to say like 25%. Most people are like, I don't know, like 15.
Well, let me tell you why I gave you that number. I know that in my industry, we have about a 10% adoption rate for all of the new platforms that are being rolled out. I made the assumption that it would be lower than the 10%, right? Also keeping in mind how many people don't create content, right? When we are in a content creating society. So many people don't leverage these tools at all to make themselves stand out as trustworthy, as authorities of what it is that they say that they do. So that's how I got down to 2. But I was pondering. I was like 1%, Marky, 1%. But I said, okay, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. For most people, it's a mic drop moment because it's like, wow, that's some low hanging fruit there, right?
So pump the brakes because I got a question. I do share. First of all, I realize I need to come back and work on my featured segment. Some of those articles are from 2019 when I was featured back to back in the Realtor magazine. I have some great stuff since then, so I need to update my featured segment. Thank you. The next thing is I want to know, because I'm always talking about repurposing content. A recent study just came out that we're only getting about a 5.2% organic reach. How would we leverage LinkedIn? And for my podcast, do I share it over there? Yes, probably not the most effective way. Mm-hmm. So what are some ways on that content, right, that you could see LinkedIn being leveraged for repurposing purposes.
Yeah. With LinkedIn, it's best to post. All right. So post it as original content. So go to the LinkedIn homepage, click in that, that start a post area and start typing. Don't just share things, because I noticed that you share a lot. And when you're just sharing, which what I mean by that is you go to the home feed, the LinkedIn feed, and you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Let me share it. So you click the share button. Those posts, I don't know what it is. LinkedIn doesn't like them. They don't go far. They sort of like go thud. So if you like something, if you like content that you're seeing on your feed, recreate it for yourself. Go to that original article and then maybe do a hat tip and tag the person who originated it. All right. So it's not like you're just taking, stealing it, but you're giving credit where credit is due. But at the same time, you're creating the post fresh, because for some reason in the LinkedIn realm, when you hit the share button, it just doesn't do as well.
And you're correct. So I'm thinking, okay, I have a lot of long videos, but I take those videos and make short video clips. I need to come and load that short video clip directly into LinkedIn. And we have over 100 episodes. So I have quite a bit of video that every single day I could come and get more engagement. So I'm going to implement that strategy to bring that original content, because I have just been sharing through third-party tools. Okay. Oh, Marky got work to do.
So I'll give you another tip, and then we'll go down to the about section. Okay. So one more tip with activity and engagement on LinkedIn. I had said earlier that LinkedIn values quality over quantity. And in terms of quality, what signals quality to LinkedIn is engagement, likes, and comments, and conversation. So a person comments, you come in and you reply to that comment, and then they reply to your comment. And that's showing this back and forth. LinkedIn loves that. And when they see that, they start pushing it for more and more into people's feeds, because LinkedIn is not like, it's not just chronological. Like when you are going through the feed, you're not seeing things that are done just right then and there. These are posts that you see. These are posts that LinkedIn is saying, ooh, this is relevant. This should be interesting to her. It's people she knows talking about the things that she cares about. So they're really curating that feed for you. And a lot of those items, if you look, the time date stamp could be a week ago. So it's not like it's timely. All right. So this stuff lives on LinkedIn for a much longer time. And LinkedIn wants that engagement. So with that said, I said something. The LinkedIn feed is people talking about the things that you care about. So what does this mean to you? What this means to you is if you are posting on LinkedIn and it's just you're not getting anything out of it, one of the things to try is spend some time every day, every other day, going onto the LinkedIn feed and finding people who are within your audience and start engaging with them. So if they post, comment. If you see, like, and start really engaging with that content. Don't just scroll through, but really engage with it. And once you start engaging, that's LinkedIn now saying, oh, let's say I started to comment on your stuff, Marky. All of a sudden, if you then post, LinkedIn is going to be like, oh, Donna and Marky have been liking and commenting. Let's make sure that Donna sees this posts. And then you'll be like, Donna's been commenting on all my stuff and she just posted, I'm going to comment. And it just starts to create that conversation. And you're going to find that if you do that with more regularity, more people are going to comment and they're going to see your posts. It's going to do better. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because so many times people are like, I'm just going to start posting on LinkedIn, and they just start posting, but they're not commenting on other people's posts. They're not liking other people's posts. It's almost like they've got this bullhorn and they're just shouting, but they're not having these real conversations. And it's the real conversations which will eventually allow people to hear all of this stuff that you're shouting from the bullhorn.
So LinkedIn is more about having reciprocal relationships. And I'm gonna tell you what else I'm doing. I'm gonna load video under this whole featured and pick like the best video snippets that I had. Woo! So we got some work to do, right?
Yeah.
We got a lot of work to do.
We didn't even go into the about section, which is your 2,500 character. I don't want to call it a bio because bios are kind of boring. They're written in third person. This should be your professional manifesto. The about section is where people go to learn more about you. And this is where you want it to be warm and compelling and engaging and intriguing. And you want to tell them the things that they desperately need to know about you. And that's the about section. Most people copy and paste a resume. And then they
abbreviated version. But let me work on it.
Yours has a lot of information. But one of the things that I would say for you, Marky, is, why you? Where did you come from? Who are you? How did you become who you are? How are you so powerful? How are you so knowledgeable on this? Like, where did you, like, how were you forged?
Forged. I love that. Like being a fifth generation entrepreneur born and raised in the restaurant business. I got you.
That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know, because now suddenly I'm feeling more like I know what makes her tick. I know what her why is. Because there's so many people who just, they throw on the hat. They're like, I'm an entrepreneur. Follow me as I run down this, I run off this cliff. But if you could say, look, I've been doing this for 30 years. My parents imbued me with these concepts. I went to school or maybe I didn't go to school, but I cut my teeth in like battle, like really give people that sense of who you are, why you do this, why you love doing this.
I had wrote down the word warm because I wanted you to tell me how we were going to warm this up. And you have excelled at giving me warm. Like I feel hot right now, right? So I'm clear about the difference of talking about where you came from. Because yes, I'm going to update that, but give them warm, warm. And you gave us
give them friendly, give them authenticity. I want this to be authentic. I want it to be organic. I mean, I hate using these kind of jargony words, but they mean something. I want it to feel natural. I want it to feel like engaging and warm and caring. Like figure out who you are. Like what is that tone? What is that personality that you offer? And if you're one of those funny, boisterous types, I want that about section to be funny and boisterous. If you're very serious and you're very conservative, let's make that about section, conservative and serious. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want it to be real to you. I want it to be authentic to you. I said this earlier. I want it to be, I hate using the term bio. I hate using just even calling it about, but about is better than, they used to call it the summary, and about is better than summary. But I want it to be your professional manifesto. Like, I want it to be your, this is who I am, and this is why I do it. And this is what I am. This is how I'm changing the world.
I know why Wiley reached out to you, because I'm listening to the professional manifesto. Like I told you, we went from warm and you gave me hot, right? I'm feeling all intimate in our conversation, just based on the words that you are utilizing that have me feeling totally different about LinkedIn and how we should be using it in the world of real estate. So I am clear how freaking awesome you are, because you've made me not warm, but hot.
Awesome. That makes me happy.
If I can describe it as such, I just need you to know what you're giving me here. Hot vibes.
But here's the thing. I mean, so many people, they sort of dismiss the profile. It's like, let me copy and paste my resume. Let me copy a bio. Let me just be done with it. But LinkedIn is this amazing network, and there is so much business being done there. And it's a place to forge your network, and your network is your net worth. It's not my quote. I wish it was. But if done well, and you really take this as that excuse to sit down and say to yourself, who am I? What do I represent? Why am I doing this? Who am I helping? How am I helping? What is the difference that they're going to see? And you can really force yourself to ask yourself these hard questions, because they're hard questions. I mean, whoever really on a day-to-day basis ever thinks like this? Like, very few people do. But if you can use this as that excuse to really future cast, and then you put it in here, things happen. Opportunity starts to hit. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I see it every day with my clients. When we finally can get that story out there and the world can see it and the world understands what they're about, good things happen. Lives change.
Wow. So I want you to tell my fellow realtors, one, how they can connect with you, because I want them to give off hot realtor vibes, right, with their LinkedIn profile. So one, I know that all of them will not have the time to take this on as a task, but if they need a professional like yourself to come in and help them, what does that look like?
Yeah, we have worked with so many realtors over the years. It's not even funny. All you need to do is you visit my website, LinkedIn-makeover.com. You click on the LinkedIn profile writing area, and I am one of those crazy people. I put my pricing right there, so you can immediately see what we offer, where it fits. You can immediately purchase it. We have a tried and true method. You work directly with a writer who's going to listen to you and talk to you and pull out these stories, and they're going to organically optimize that profile in the most authentic way. They will upload it for you. So you don't even need to do it yourself. We're going to do everything. And next thing you know, one, this is off your back, but two, you're presenting yourself in a manner that's professional, it's optimized, it's impressive, and that's when good things happen.
And here's the beauty, right? Then they could technically take that and copy and paste it to other places, right?
Yes.
Outside of LinkedIn. And so it wouldn't just be for LinkedIn, but you would have all of the character count you essentially need for any of the other platforms. And it would be professionally written, and it will give off hot vibe realtor, right? It would say that all over the place for you to be able to leverage that tool in your business. So tell them that website one more time so that they can go right now and get themselves together.
Yeah, it's LinkedIn-makeover.com. Very simple. LinkedIn-makeover.com.
Well, Donna, I 100% thank you, because I now have homework. I'm going to work on my featured segment. I have already gone in and made some changes to my headline. I got to get my terminology straight here. And you have me doing definitely some work. I'm going to head over to your site too, because we can all be better. And based on the terms you've used today, they're terms I wouldn't use, but they made me feel good. So I know they'll also make other people feel good. So guys, just, reach out, connect with Donna, as we all need a makeup, makeover, update. And if you've been like me, you might have neglected LinkedIn. But now that I'm sitting here reminiscing, I realize the value it has been to my business. So it is time for me to pay it more attention. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today.